Hey guys, Crowbar Zero here, and this is the third episode, and just gonna go over CD's tower and start pulling some of this stuff up. He's got actually quite a bit here, so a little bit more advanced than some of the other ones that we were looking at, but yeah, okay. SM, that's pretty freaking well developed, I would say. Probably a good spot for that for now. Maybe a little bit more damage, but not too bad. Let's see. Chronofield, definitely 100% uptime on that. A little bit more speed reduction would definitely be helpful in that area. Deathwave looks like cooldown needs some work, but it's getting there. Like, it's almost done. He's probably been working on that recently. So what is it? 2 more upgrades to that or so, and that'll knock that down. Same with GT. It looks like maybe some substats that are knocking that down. Not too bad duration. At this point, I'm kind of like, okay, with 40 something second duration, you're probably killing quite a few enemies just with like. Well, that's assuming that black hole is about the same timing. So actually, let's take a look. I think black hole's on the next one. We got 48 seconds on GT. Let's see. And then over here on black hole with that, that's going to be a total of 40 seconds. But on the other hand, there are some builds where 28 seconds may actually be a really good spot for that to be. So I don't. So there's some builds, especially in the later game, where if you're going for something along the lines of 40 seconds, and I haven't dipped into these yet. Like 40-second black hole is kind of a sweet spot. So this with the perk would bring that up to 40 seconds. I don't want to recommend like pushing it or not pushing it because I don't totally know everything about that build, but that actually might be a sweet spot where they're at right now. Black hole size pretty close to, I think, almost. Let's see. Pull up. The size, yeah. They might have some substats that are boosting that up. I think they might actually have that, but it's getting up there. Let's see. I don't have anything that shows their substats, so I'll just assume that they've got some substats that are boosting that. Let's see. That's 68. The cost for that, 151. So they're probably about 10 meter of the substat. So boosting that up might not be too bad. But there's a lot of other things that are going on that could be, yay, I finished the mission. That'd probably be helpful before then. So we've got 2-minute cooldown there. 2-minute cooldown there. I think. Okay, they are using Multiverse Nexus. So since they're using Multiverse Nexus, it doesn't look like they've got a substat for cooldown. I don't know if that's ancestral or not. I think it might be. Because one of the good ones that you want is ancestral cooldown for Golden Tower as well as Deathwave. They don't have quantity on there yet. Just double checking Spotlight. So Spotlight angle, that is 93. I just want to correlate that with the tables here that I'm looking at. Spotlight. That's 93. Okay, yeah. That looks like If they do have angle, it's like 1 degree, or maybe it's none at all. So this will probably be helpful to build this up eventually, but as far as like the econ side of things, maybe not the best ROI. I'm thinking, for the econ side of things, I'm leaning more towards just the cooldowns. But let me double check their bot. Their bot is 60 seconds. So we're looking at 1 minute 20 seconds between all to kind of synchronize the golden bot with everything. It'd either be 120 or 180 seconds. That's let's plug in some numbers. Plus would be 8 seconds. So 20 seconds. Divide that by 3. That's 116. And then minus 10 is at 106. So they actually almost have a synchronization with CoinBot or GoldenBot. No, but not quite. So they're like mathing in my head, which is not the most accurate math. 14 seconds off. So pretty close. Some of that could be just from, let's see. What would be the best way to go around this? I'm thinking possibly lab. I'm thinking here. And unfortunately, I don't have a table for the cost for the bots with me right now. But it might be... Actually, let's divide that by 2. So right now, with all the current cooldowns, I think around 53 seconds would synchronize this with everything else that you've got. Okay, you're not using G-Comp. Oh, but you do have G-Comp in there. Oh, and then for farming, I would avoid death penalty, because you're going to kill enemies outside of your black hole fairly frequently. So even though it's like the rest of your cannons are all mythic, you might want to use one of your mythic ones. And then as far as... I'm forgetting this one module because I don't use it. Black hole digester. So you're able to stop yourself from increasing your range with that. So you can go ham with free ups. I haven't messed around with Black Hole Digester in this current meta, so I don't know if it's better or worse than G-Comp. And I'm just going to be transparent on that. Usually G-Comp would be the better choice, but it might be better. and maybe like try a little like a G comp run versus a black hole digester run, and also compare the cells that you get out of that, because more uptime with death wave effect waves will equal basically you're hitting more enemies with that, making sure that the enemies are hit with effect waves and getting all those bonuses when they die. Hopefully that made sense. I'm just kind of chatting while I'm looking at things, and like I'm just going in on all of these things raw. So everyone's seeing this for the first time, just like I am. Let's see. Yeah, as far as that goes. Yeah, overall, also with like some of these, you're pretty close too. So, I gotta think about this one for a bit. I don't see the workshop. I just see the enhancements. And I don't see the cars. So I'm assuming all of them are maxed out where you do have access to masteries. So part of me is in this mixed bag of like, do I recommend going for like a death wall, kill wall kind of scenario where your enemies are just coming in and they're just going plop on your kill wall and just kind of maxing out for that, or something else. That actually might be where I go with this. Yeah. With what you got, I think that's actually where I would go with this. So I would work on the cooldowns. Damage is a little anemic for now, but we're not worried about this quite yet. Work on the cooldowns for all three of those. After that, I'd work on the effect wave quantity, and then for multiverse, what you doing? Oh man, using black hole digester instead of G comp. I'm so used to using G comp that I'm like, oh, this is gonna throw off my mental math. Oh. Yeah, but right now, with what you've got here, is also not going to be consistent enough to be very useful. So I'd probably just sink the metals right back into Coinbot. And if we were going to do a death wall build, or take it in that direction, let's check out the labs. Get some damage. Okay, attack speed. That was nice. Working a little bit on super crit. That's cool. Let's see, orb speed. Yeah, let's get that finished. Let's get orb speed finished out. That'll be very nice for tournaments and boss health and all that jazz. Just seeing what we've got. Okay. Okay. And then unfortunately, like Poison Swamp, it's going to be really lab heavy. These labs are very, very nice. You'll eventually want to max them out and just treat them as like a nice tool to slow down bosses, to stun raise, and well, just pretty much stun anything. If I remember correctly, I don't think you've built up that quite yet. Yeah. It's pretty in the baby stage. I'm not too worried about it right now. You've got it, so eventually you can get some of that stuff done. But yeah, it's that's a down the road project, I would say, for now. Getting a lot of like the econ stuff finished out, I think, is where I would recommend going instead of Poison Swamp at this particular juncture in time. And getting what is it? Golden Tower bonus. That'll be good to get done before the Poison Swamp stuff. Let's see, Deathwave Amp. Okay, you've done some progress on Deathwave Amp. That's really good. Yeah, this is really good for any Deathwave sort of focus build. And so, yeah, more cooldowns will help with that. More effect waves makes sure that you're basically all the enemies are getting that maximum amp, or not taking nearly as much damage off your death wall health, I guess you would say, or damage pool that's stored up. So, this is very good. Deathwave armor stripping. Not really jumping into that too much. I think your bullets are going to do a lot more in the long run than this ever will. And then eventually, if you get Chain Lightning, that's just going to... Yeah, this is pretty much a waste. So I wouldn't come back to this for ever. Yeah. But it looks like you've already stopped it, so that's fine. Super Tower bonus, that'll come in handy much later on, but for now, that's fine. Once you get the Super Tower Mastery, that's when this just blows up in usefulness. It becomes like 0 to hero overnight. Demon Mode Mastery, okay. So this will be nice just to help finish up the Demon Mode missions for events. Just kind of calling out useful ones. You do have these available for the Poison Swap Rend related stuff. At this current point in time, I can't recommend those at all. So you can probably skip them and not have to worry about it. You've got your modules here. I'm guessing you're using HC for tournament, which partly may be a reason to put stuff into Poison Swamp, but at the same time, That's tough. If you had Chain Lightning, you know, Dimension Core is a fantastic module for tournament performance. But you're not quite there yet. I'm thinking everything that I've seen so far, I would say if you do pull, and whenever your next ultimate weapon that you pull, go for Chain Lightning so you can use Dimension Core, and then you'll just... It's amazing. Damage. Okay. I tend to keep these even. I'm usually not too worried about this, unless you have Spotlight Plus, but you don't, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And these are pretty solid there. Actually, I guess red armor is not too bad since you've got smart missiles. So. Yeah, you're rocking smart missiles. This will be extremely nice when you can unlock it. So here and there, putting a little bit more into coins and cells will just help push you farther into unlocking this. And then I don't think it's this expensive when you first unlock it, but it'll ramp up in cost really quickly. But very, very useful enhancement. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's missing as far as labs go. What am I missing? Oh, most of the utility tabs. So I don't know if that's been maxed out. Like the enemy level skips, I don't know if those have been maxed out. Package chance, I don't know if that's been maxed out. A couple unknowns there. Got some pretty beefy health. If you have beefy health, you probably want some nice regen to go along with that. Let's see, what's okay, so that's the only ancestral. And then mythics on the other armor modules. Trying to remember what the bonus, because I haven't used negative mass projector in a while, so you're using orbs. If you're using negative mass projector, did you, was it you or somebody else that, yeah. If you're using negative mass projector, you're absolutely going to want to have that done. So that also might be a pretty high priority, is getting that done. Some of this is kind of hard to comment because I can't see what you have actively queued up. I mean, I can see that you've got Super Crit Multi. You've got Wall Health, Wall Thorns, so that's 3. And then I don't know what else is in the other 2 lab slots. So it kind of makes it hard to recommend stuff. If you haven't finished lab speed, definitely I'd recommend keeping that permanent. Yeah, it's definitely have all the ultimate weapons, just missing some of the lab info. I feel like there's not a lot that I can recommend other than just working on the econ side of things, maybe a little bit in Chronofield, a little bit in the damage here. Um, that'll also help with spotlight missile damage. Yeah, if you want to, and I'm thinking about poison swamps since you are using HC right now, or at least I assume so for tournaments. If you've got the negative duration on that, that's just going to nerf this to absolute uselessness. So, yeah, that's a tough spot. I think overall, just working on the cooldowns, you're solid there. Golden Tower bonus. If you get the new ultimate weapon, Chain Lightning would be good. That'll be really solid. And then with Chain Lightning, you work on the Shock Labs. Shock chance you don't need incredibly too high, so maybe like go halfway with the shock chance with that. And if you have enough quantity and chance, then that'll carry that pretty far. As well as you'll be spreading your amps all over the shock amp all over the place, and then inner landmines, kind of the order that I would go in with that. Wow, I feel like I don't have useful like feedback for this one. A little bit of angle there. Just hold off on that. And if you want to, you can invest a little bit here, so you don't need to take up a substat slot for black hole's eyes. But yeah, I think that's kind of all I got for this one. Let's see what we've got. How far they've gone in the tiers. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll catch you later. I hope this is helpful, CD. And I hope the rest of you guys enjoy that as well.